They're providing $775 million. That's right, guys. This is not a mistake. This is absolutely unbelievable. More money is being sent out. The Biden administration may be thinking about student loan forgiveness, but it seems as if they may be waiting to we're a little bit closer to November to do anything about it to make sure that it's fresh in the minds of voters. It almost seems a little bit selfish. Are they trying to do things that help us out in order to get our votes? Certainly looks like it. This may be a strategy that they're deciding on because they need all of the help that they can get from the younger demographic. Do you guys agree that they should do more when it's close to election time, or should help be provided when help is needed? Almost seems a little bit unfair, but you can drop me a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about that. Also, Texas Governor Greg Abbott was called an anti-American as he continued to send illegal immigrants to sanctuary cities, New York, Washington, D.C. Do you agree that these people moving of their own free will is anti-American? For more news on the U.S. economy, the stock market, fourth stimulus package updates, passive income, fourth stimulus check updates, Social Security, and everything that's going on in Washington, D.C. that affects your wallets, be sure to click the subscribe button. Also, hit that notification bell. I appreciate you guys hitting the like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe. And if you haven't already, free link down below in the description of this video. Be sure to get your free home warranty quote. The link is in the description of this video. Never be caught off guard by another unexpected, very expensive home repair again. Get your free home warranty quote. The link is in the description down below of this video. Okay, all of us have a different opinion when it comes to vaccines, and I believe we should respect that. But it seems as if some companies and organizations took this to the extreme by forcing some employees to get a jab when they clearly didn't want it. Is that right? Would you let your employer force you to get a jab that you didn't want? Now, one person that did not back down is former coach of the Washington State Cougars, Nick Rolovic. He was promptly fired last year as he refused to get vaccinated, which has led him to now file a wrongful termination that seeks to get $25 million for being fired. Rolovic had 3 seasons left under his 5-year contract. The problem was that he was terminated last October and denied a religious exemption from Washington Governor Jay Inslee's mandatory vaccination of state employees. In Illinois, healthcare workers who were also fired due to a mandate will now be eligible for $25,000 each due to the result of a settlement, while those who were forced to get jabbed to keep their job will get $3,000 each. Anticipation is swelling for more than 40 million student loan borrowers as President Biden may make an announcement regarding loan forgiveness any day now. Now, as he promised to decide just before the pause ends at the end of the month, the effects of a nationwide student loan forgiveness could result as a cancellation for others, especially if President Biden decides to cancel $50,000 of student loans for each borrower. This would mean that about 36 million student loan borrowers would have their debts canceled. Now, while this particular scenario is a little bit unlikely, the president's option to forgive at least $10,000 per borrower may actually be the best option, but don't expect to get a $10,000 stimulus check. Instead, the United States Department of Education would likely just reduce the balance by that amount. Net, it's kind of like getting a $10,000 stimulus check, but being told that you have to pay off your debt with it. Still not bad. Now, with the younger demographic of voters showing in recent polls and surveys that they're not very satisfied with the actions of President Biden, this particular move certainly could land some favor with them. Now, the question is whether the federal government can actually proceed with canceling some debt, given that the forgiveness may only be available at the federal student loan borrowers level and not for private loans. But what do you guys think? Will student loan debt be frozen once again, or should we expect some form of forgiveness to be approved? Now, the question I would have is, let's just say President Biden actually forgives student loans and literally hands out $10,000 in student loan forgiveness stimulus checks, however he decides to handle that. What if you don't have student loans? Or what if you don't have federal student loans? Isn't that a little bit unfair? So I'm just thinking if he goes ahead and provides $10,000 in stimulus checks to eliminate student loans, I want to see some stimulus checks going to those who don't have student loans. You guys let me know what you think about that. Now, one key question that I asked at the beginning of this video is still very, very crucial, which is, do you think that the government or those in power should do more when election time is near? Which makes you wonder, shouldn't they be doing this right when they get seated instead of waiting for a crucial election to come along? It's almost like, hey, let's not do anything all year long, let American people suffer, and then, hey, when we need votes, let's start doing stuff. Really? I don't know about you guys, but this is one of the reasons why I just kept waiting on a fourth stimulus check, because, they say that the American people are hurting nothing but fail to provide financial assistance when we need it the most, even when they also have hundreds of billions of dollars to spare, which has already been handed the states. It's not like it's going to affect inflation. The money's already out there. Now, speaking of, the Biden administration is again sending $775 million of taxpayer-funded military aid for the war, making this the 18th or 20th, I'm losing count, that we've sent money or equivalent to the area. It makes you wonder, when was our last stimulus check? Did they just completely forget that we're struggling too? And when was the last time another country sent us money? Why are we always sending money to other countries? I know I'm not the only one who thinks this. It also has not been more than a month since we sent a $550 million stimulus package there too, all the while the country that we're helping is also asking for help from China. Now, I know it's hard to hear, but this is all in the news. How many stimulus checks would we have gotten with all the money that we've sent out to other countries? Now, on the topic of China, our relations with them continue to be strained following United States House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taiwan recently. Now, with the US recently sending a stealth nuclear bomber within the islands of Taiwan, China promptly responded by deploying 51 warplanes and 6 warships around the country, including 25 aircraft that tossed Taiwan Strait's median line. It's also becoming more tense as China's Xi Jinping continues to show signs of working together with Vladimir Putin. Now, back here at home, sanctuary cities, Washington, D.C., and New York seem to be struggling with the thousands of illegal immigrants that continue to take buses from Arizona to Texas into their areas. Now, if you guys remember, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser said this after the 2016 election: "We celebrate our diversity and respect all DC residents no matter their immigration status," end quote. While New York City Mayor Eric Adams said this in 2019: "To anyone in the world fleeing hatred and oppression, the ultimate city of immigrants wants you to remember you're always welcome here," end quote. He also doubled down in 2021 when he was campaigning by saying that, quote, "We should protect our immigrants. Period. Yes, New York City will remain a sanctuary city under an Adams administration," end quote. What has happened when Governor Greg Abbott seems to have called them on their bluff is nothing short of extraordinary. Mayor Bowser has repeatedly asked for more financial help, urging the White House to grant them help from the National Guard, a request that has been rejected multiple times. Mayor Adams is the same as he pleads to receive any federal aid that he can get to handle the thousands of illegal immigrants coming into their city. Mayor Adams had this to say about Governor Abbott, quote, "He is an anti-American governor that is really going against everything we stand for. And I am going to do everything feasible to make sure people of Texas realize how harmful he is to us globally," end quote. The issue is that these people weren't forced in the buses. They were just told that both New York and DC were havens where they would be welcomed, justifying that they are sending the migrants to places where they're more welcome. The response from both Mayor Adams and Bowser have raised criticism, one of which comes from Attorney General Ken Paxton. Now, in a recent interview, he said this: "It's just interesting to see some of the mayors who have invited and have created sanctuary cities to suddenly start complaining that they've got a few thousand immigrants when they're dealing with millions," end quote. In a previous report, we showed that Mayor Adams has plans to house illegal immigrants into a luxury hotel in the city, with the funds mostly probably coming from taxpayer money, and the question on whether they can keep this up in the long run will be answered soon enough, although critics argue that the money should instead be provided as stimulus checks to help Americans who are in need in their own country. But what do you guys think about the border issue? Is this just a political fight between these people, or is this more of a political problem? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Now, I don't think anyone's going to arguing with me that the middle class is under attack. Consumer price index for inflation is well above the 2% target inflation level. Many fear that the Fed will lead the US into hyperinflation or crash the market in their attempt to lower inflation by raising interest rates. Do you believe that your stimulus checks caused inflation? The fact of the matter is that while we live in one of the richest countries in the world, there is no reason why the average American is living paycheck to paycheck, or worse, digging themselves further and further into credit card debt just to make ends meet. While some of you guys in our YouTube fam have been able to pay off your credit cards and become debt free, you're able to contribute to your 401k and your IRA investment accounts, you're investing in real estate, and you've saved up an emergency fund that will cover you anywhere from 6 months to 2 years of living expenses, and that's great, guys. I really do commend you, and I encourage you guys to continue. That's excellent. But the truth is, household credit card debt has been rising in America, and as families use credit cards to purchase necessities like food, gas, and utilities, it's getting getting pretty bad out here. And this further negatively impacts their debt to income ratios and their credit rating, as most Americans find themselves only able to afford the minimum payments on their credit cards. Now, when this happens, good luck getting approved for a good rate on a mortgage. Now you're stuck renting. Now, if this sounds like you, do not worry, you are not alone. But it doesn't have to be this way, you guys. I have been receiving more and more emails from you guys asking for ways to increase your income, looking for ways to make money online or to create side hustles to be able to have the extra cash available to build 6-month emergency funds to relieve some of the stress of this economic crisis. I am getting a lot of emails from you, and I try to reply to as many emails as possible. But in the meantime, be sure to click on the helpful links in the description of this video for more helpful videos on increasing your income, and I've shared my email address if you want to send me a message as well. And while you guys are down there, make sure to smash the thumbs up button. Also, if you're new to the channel and you want to keep updated with everything that's going on, everything that matters to you regarding our economy and your money, make sure to subscribe. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are all awesome. This is Ron, and I'll see you guys on the next one.